Okay, here we go, some hints for sheet 5. The first question is a BODMAS question once again, so there's a divide sum in the question, so we're going to do that first of all. So a little bridge sum, how much does 4 go into 15.6? Get your answer and add that on to 19.3. Should be a nice easy start. Second question are positive and negative numbers. Well, we start with 4 negatives, then we have to add 3 negatives, and then we're taking away 5 negatives. So what are we left with? The third one, 3 3/4 divided by 2 5/6. We know we need to make them top heavy, so 4 times 3 add 3. 4 3s are 12 and 3 makes 15. Divided by, make this one top heavy, 6 2s add 5. 6 2s are 12, add 5 is 17. What do you do with a divide fraction? You take the second one, the 17 over 6, and you turn that top heavy. You turn it upside down. 6 over 17. Do a little bit of cancelling, get your answer. Question 4, 18% of 730. So we're going to do 10% first of all, which is 73. Then we're going to do 1%, 7.3. Then we're going to do 8%, and then we're going to add the 10 and 8 together to get your final answer. Question 5, the equations. I would remove the 3x from this side, which means I've got to remove it from this side. I would then move my negative 7 over to this side, and it goes from being a take away 7 to an add 7. That gives me so many x's equals a number, so you can work out what x is. Question 6, one of these compound interest questions. A car depreciates by 12%, so depreciates means it goes down the way. So if you start with 100%, take the 12% off, means you're left with 88%. Turn the 88% into a decimal, and then it's that decimal to the power 4 times the starting value of the car, which gets the answer. Remember, at this point here, we're going to use the y to the power x button on our calculator, or some calculators have got like a little hat symbol. You learn what your calculator does. Question 7 is very, very similar to question 6, but there's an extra bit at the end. House prices are appreciating by 1.7%, so they're going to go up. And then they go down, it depreciates by 0.5%. So, first of all, we need to do 100, add 1.7, 101.7%, turn that into a decimal. Then we do 100, take away 0.5%, turn that into a decimal. And then it's the first answer to the power 3, because it's doing that for 3 years, times the second answer to the power 2, because it's doing that for 2 years, times the value of the house. And that tells you how much the house is now worth. The second part of the question says you've got to change that to percentage. What's the overall percentage change? So to make a percentage, you need a fraction times 100. So what's the fraction going to be this time? On the bottom is going to be the original price of the house, and the original price was 150,000. The top is going to be the change, so how much it went up in value. So the number it went up in value divided by the original times 100 gives you the percentage change. Question 8, the area question. Well, I've split the shape up into 2 familiar shapes. A triangle. What's the formula for a triangle? Half base times height. So that's a half. Do we know what the base of the triangle is? Yes, because it tells us in the question. Do we know what the height of the triangle is? Yes, because it tells us in the question. So stick those numbers in. and you've got the triangle. For the semicircle, we know the formula for a full circle is pi r squared, but we've only got half a circle, so it's going to be a half pi r squared. So that's a half times pi times, do we know what the radius of the circle is? Yep. We know what the full height is, so therefore the radius is just going to be half that distance. So look at the question, get half the height of the shape, plug that number back in here, work out your answer, and then add these two answers together to get the final answer. Last, number 9. How much did it cost her for the ingredients? Well, it cost her for the ingredients £4.25. Tells you that in the question. How much does she make by selling them? Well, she sells 10. She sells 10 at 70p. So that tells you how much she got for selling them. How much profit did she make? Well, that's just the difference between how much you cost her and how much you sold them for. So do a little takeaway sum, get the profit, and then just as in question 7, to calculate the percentage, it's a fraction times 100. This time the little formula we're going to use is the profit is going to go on the top and the cost goes on the bottom. So whatever your answer was here for the profit, put that number on the top of the fraction, put the cost, the £4.25, on the bottom of the fraction, top divide bottom times 100. And that should be good for you.